World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph Vicente. Israel has received through the Red Cross a coffin that Hamas says contains the body of another deceased hostage held in Gaza. According to BBC, the Israel Defense Forces or IDF said its troops had taken the coffin from Gaza back to Israel, where forensic tests would be used to identify the remains. If they are confirmed as belonging to a hostage, Hamas will have returned 16 of the 28 dead Israelis and foreigners it was holding before the start of a ceasefire 2 weeks ago. The latest handover came after the Israeli government said it had allowed a member of Hamas into territory inside Gaza, controlled by the IDF, to help Red Cross and Egyptian personnel search for the remaining dead hostages. Israel has accused Hamas of violating the ceasefire agreement brokered by the US, Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey because it has not returned all of the hostages' bodies. In other news stories, Southeast Asian nations back United States President Donald Trump's plan on Gaza, urging just and durable peace in the Middle East. This is what Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim told US President Trump during a joint summit of the US and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN in Kuala Lumpur. It was recalled that under a 20-point US plan, the phased Gaza ceasefire agreement between Hamas and Israel, brokered through regional and international mediation, took effect on October 10. Phase 1 includes the release of Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and a partial Israeli withdrawal. It also aims on rebuilding Gaza and establishing a new governing mechanism without Hamas. In March, Israel broke a ceasefire reached in January. Since October of the year 2023, the Israeli war has killed more than 68,500 victims and injured more than 170,300 others, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. And finally, Japan's new Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi vowed to enhance cooperation with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN in the fields of security, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. GG Press reported that at a meeting with leaders of ASEAN member states in Kuala Lumpur, Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi stressed the importance of an international order based on the rule of law, apparently with China in mind, which is expanding coercive actions in the East China Sea and the South China Sea. Next year will mark 10 years since the late former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe proposed the Free and Open Indo-Pacific Initiative. Takaichi, who regards the initiative as her administration's foreign policy pillar, emphasized the need to further strengthen Japan's relations with ASEAN nations located in a strategically important area between the Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean. Japan will extend support for ASEAN nations under its official security assistance program, which includes supplies of defense equipment and other items to like-minded nations, with Takaichi also vowing to step up cooperation in disaster response in addition to maritime security. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5 for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.